this is commented out. So it's not implemented, and you could theoretically still execute code this way without having any permissions. Hi again, I'm Emil, a Swedish hacker. Today we are taking a look at the most recent security issue in the Breakdance builder. They have previously had troubles with remote code execution. They have had troubles with cross-site scripting that could be turned into remote code execution. But today we are taking a look at this one. And it was released as an article on their website the 7th of May, and it just says that this is a security update. Update now. This is the patch. So we have learned from this that they have addressed a privilege escalation vulnerability, and they don't tell what it is, how it works. But this made me curious, like how to actually do any privilege escalation. So I've dig into this, and it turns out it is actually also remote code execution. And to understand how this works, we will take a look at the patch and see if we can find it and test our own sites. So to take a look at what is happening, I have this Breakdance 1.7.1 version. I created a folder called privilege escalation because that's what it said here. I didn't really know what to look for. So everything I am doing here is present in the penetration testing repository on GitHub. And to my help, I have created a diff directory to take a look at the difference between the previous version and the patched version. So let's start taking a look at that. It opens a Visual Studio Code instance with a timeline created by Git. And in here we have only the changed files and maybe new files if new files were added. But if we take a look at this one, we can follow the change, the original code and the patch. So we can see they have updated version. We don't really care about that. Let's start from the top. We don't care about HTML. Did we change anything in here? Yes. And from looking at this, we don't actually need to look any further. We can just take the first file, and we can see they have added this one. They have added a prefix that is underscore. And other than that, they have just changed the formatting. From this we can understand that they have added this underscore to the Breakdance data that is used for the post meta. Post meta is its own table in WordPress, and it stores meta information about posts, and that is included custom fields. Just by looking at this, we can see Breakdance have its Breakdance data field. So my best guess from just looking at the first file is that it was not previously protected or hidden, because this field is accessible by the UI. However, if you prefix it, it is no longer easily accessible from the vanilla WordPress. Maybe I can still access it, but I will make no promise. But this maybe I can access it in the patched version. However, this is the version with the vulnerability, and for sure I can access this. So I can probably just create a post I can insert whatever I want in the Breakdance data post meta, and whatever I want includes PHP code. So this is my local installation of WordPress for cybersecurity training. I have installed Breakdance, however, I can't see that right now because I am logged in as contributor, and that is one of the lowest accessible rules that can still create a post. We cannot publish the post. We can just create it. We can create a draft. But that is enough when Breakdance is installed to have remote code execution. And we can try this theory out by adding a new post. We call it RCE test. And let's publish it. Submit for review, you see. I don't have access to publish this. But let's submit it. Let's go down here. To get this field, you need to first go here, push preference, and under the advanced, we enable custom fields. This is how it looks like in vanilla WordPress. It does not show the custom fields. However, as contributor, you can say, let me have a look at the custom fields. That's when we do this. We reload the page and we have this UI. From this UI, we recognize Breakdance data. We say that we need to change whatever is in here, and we want to post some evil code in here. And since we have used Breakdance before, we know how to execute PHP in Breakdance. I will copy paste. I think we do it like this. Board, I had it open. Take this one instead. So this is what we set in the Breakdance data. You see, this is the PHP code that will be executed. So it will say this is a test. We take it, we store it, we submit it for review. But we don't have to wait for the review, do we? We can just push preview review and we open it in a new tab. And this is our PHP code executed as contributor. So we can execute any PHP code. Just to demonstrate, we can take a look at the database credentials. So if we update this code to say echo database host, and then and then a delimiter, and then database password, delimiter, database user, we can press the update button and we can see it is updated here. This is the database host. This is a special host that only works on my local host. You see we are on localhost. This is because I'm running Docker. So I'm running the database as a separate Docker container, which has this host only on my local host. And the username is WordPress and the password is WordPress. If you want to, you can try to automate this by taking a look at some of the scripts here. I'm not sure which one I used. Maybe this one and this one is the one working. I don't remember. So this is how you can execute PHP code on a Breakdance installation without proper access. And how you mitigate it is simply to update to 1.7.2. I say mitigate because from what I can see from taking a look at this, the only implementation that was implemented is actually this. So if you find another way to insert this malicious data into now this table, you see the only The only thing this underscore does is removing this one from the drop down menu that I chose earlier. So if you can send the data and save it there in some other way than from this UI, you might still be vulnerable to this attack or similar. The way they solved this in other builders is to implement code signatures. Code signatures would protect against this, even against attacks against this. However, from what I can see, that is not implemented in Breakdance. If we take a look at another file that is present in plugin data tree, you can see they have added a comment about the issue. However, it is commented out. I think this is a proposed solution, but it's not implemented. So this is how they check for credentials, if the author of the post actually has credentials to use Breakdance. This check is not, from what I can see, it's not implemented. At least it's not implemented here. So this is the only thing protecting you right now, is that we cannot see or set the post meta from the WordPress UI. The actual credential check is commented out. It was not present at all here, and in here it's in a comment, which basically gets the author ID of the post. And if author ID is not set, it will return false. Or if Breakdance has a minimum permission edit this author ID, if it's not minimum permission edit, it will return false. However, this is commented out, so it's not implemented, and you could theoretically still execute code this way without having any permissions, as long as you can put the code in here. I think that was all for today. If you want to discuss security, please join the Discord. I will send a link in the description of this video. Also, I would very much appreciate if you could comment this video if I made any errors, or if you just like the content. Please drop me a comment and let me know.